Welcome back to another episode of Say What Needs to Be Said. I'm your host, Asante, Mr. Pick Six Samuel, two-time Super Bowl champion, Pro Bowler, All-Pro, record-breaking cornerback, and 50 interceptions in 10 seasons. Yeah, that's me. Monday Night Vibes, baby. Let's have a good time tonight. And what can I say? What a weekend, baby. What a weekend. What a weekend. Y'all come on in. Let's have a good time. And it's time to vibe out tonight. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I have a co-host with me tonight and maybe in the future. And he's going to be joining us shortly. And we got a few things to talk about. And shout out to the Marcus in the building. Shout out to the Maxwell family. It got Melrose, all my day ones I forgot to mention, man. Louisiana, what it do? Most valid in the building. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Y'all come on in, man. We have a lot to talk about. We got to react. And I got to go in on a few folks, man, about Coach Prime, man. If y'all don't see, man, and see what Coach Prime is going through and this and that and the other. But let me bring my co-host on in and we got to get started. We need to get through it. What's up, Drees? 2-3 G's in the building. What's up, baby?
What's up, baby? What's up, man? I'm excited for this, man. Watching that Coach Prime video, it was crazy seeing you go back and forth, but still keeping it respectful and having a great conversation between two greats, man. I can't wait to talk about this.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. It was awesome, man. It was a dream come true for me, man. It's different parts of life. And yeah, man, that was an exciting moment for Mr. Pick Six in his life, man. I think I'm halfway there. Probably got about 50 more years on this earth, you know what I mean? Yeah, but like I say, Monday Night Vibes, y'all come on in, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. If y'all watching the show, you see me with my light blue on, looking fly. And if you just listening to the podcast, you understand I'm representing the Florida Gators, man. You know what I mean? That's what's happening. That's what it is. You know what I mean?
What got you representing the Florida Gators?
Florida Gators, baby. My daughter signed a scholarship. She's going to be a Florida Gator. She's a track star. Watch out for her in the Olympics coming up soon. You know what I mean? So when y'all see me doing that, hey, y'all know I'm a Gator, man. But Monday Night Vibes, y'all know I don't like to hold y'all up, man. And at the end, I'm gonna get a little emotional. I'm gonna get a little mushy with y'all and tell y'all how much I appreciate y'all. Y'all my day ones riding out with me and grinding it out, man. Appreciate the support. I appreciate the love. And we only going up from here, man. So let's get into it, man. Let's get into this thing. 2-3 Drees.
For sure. Listen, man, I know how I felt about the conversation, but I heard you say that felt like a dream to you. How did you feel like that conversation went with Coach Brown?
Man, yeah. Like I said, I think that was an awesome conversation. I think it was needed to show, men that we're able to sit down despite our disagreements and things like that. You know what I mean? And Coach Prime, he didn't hold back. That's what I loved about it the most. Coach Prime didn't hold back. But I can't lie. He caught me off guard. He caught me by surprise when we first started our conversation. And he said, he got right in. Let's go, son. No, let's get right to it. Let's get right to
definitely,
it.
Definitely,
I mean?
Man.
I wasn't really expecting that, I wasn't done trying to show my respect for Coach Prime, But he forced me in my element. He forced me in that Lauderdale, Florida, he forced me right into it. So I had to get in debate mode. And I noticed somebody say, man, Florida guys, they always going up and down when they talk. Yeah, that's that energy I like to bring, you know what I mean? But like I said, I wasn't expecting us to get right to it so fast. But, I honestly thought this would never happen. But it happened. And then also, I come to realize, I could come off a little rowdy, a little straightforward to people. So people don't understand me. You know, like they should, like they need to understand me. But once you get to know me and understand me, you understand there is no beef. I'm just a competitor, you know what I mean? And this is just the way I want it to be, Mm-hmm. This is how I've been my whole life,
Man, what I know is about the conversation was, even though y'all still had disagreements at the end of the day, it was respectful. You know what I mean? Y'all both respected each other's game. Y'all respected how y'all played throughout the years. You ain't got to be like angry when you have a disagreement. You know what I mean? Y'all was like, well, listen, you ain't follow. You stayed on one side, but you still was a dog. And it wasn't like, a lot of people get offended or they fall back like, man, I can't mess with them. and then it's a whole different feeling. But it was a lot of respect in that conversation, and I realized that from outside looking in. I'm pretty sure a lot of people that support you and follow you and follow Coach Prime, they seen that as well. Like, there's a lot of respect that goes around, and it ain't just talk. It's because y'all put it out there in the field. So that's why I enjoyed about that, man. I was like, this is like heaven right now watching this. This is amazing. So if y'all ain't go see it, man, y'all missed out a great conversation. So go back and go watch that for sure.
Yeah, man. Like you say, man, that's what it's about, man. Respect, and it's about it's not about conquering and dividing. It's about coming together, man. It takes a village to go up against what we're going up against, man. But Coach Prime, man, it was so surprising because he said, "I'm pulling up." He said, "Give me a day and give me a time, and I'm pulling up, man." And you notice, man, I didn't really hear too many other shows or too many other of these podcasts react to this trending news and this trending topic because they know Mr. Pick Six say what needs to be said. We here to come take over, baby. We headed to the top, baby. We are here to control the airwaves. You know what I mean? So salute to Coach Prime. I appreciate him. And hey, that's Step Pops. That's Step Pops, man. That's Step Pops.
Is it anything you feel like you forgot to mention during that conversation, like afterwards, like, damn, man, I forgot to say that, or you feel like you got it all out?
There was a few things like I seen in the comments where they was talking about the T-step and I wish we'd have talked about the T-step, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I forgot to mention that, but like you said, Coach Prime is going to come on the show again one day, someday soon. Yeah, we'll talk about the T-step. Also, I wanted to ask him who was his favorite receiver or the hardest receiver he had to play against and things like that. And there was a few more questions. Something about when we first met. You know, I wasn't going to go in about when we first met, but I was going to see if he remembered, and I was just going to let him know if there was a situation. Just letting you know, we don't got to talk about it, but I apologize, you know? But it's all good. It's all good.
I think I heard you mention in that interview, the hardest person you faced, was it Marvin Harrison, or that was just one of the toughest?
Yeah, that was pretty much my toughest battle, Marvin Harrison. I always said I'm very consistent when I speak. Marvin Harrison, I always say, because of Marvin Harrison was tough to cover because he had Peyton Manning in. They had such a dialogue from being together so long and so forth. You know what I mean?
Right. And also, like, a lot of people may not heard, even though it was trending, it was big on I seen like every single legendary corner, some Hall of Famers, some that still play, that's still active, talk about the T-step. And we need to know, like, for the people that haven't seen it yet, you gotta remind them, like, what was that whole topic about that was like trending on Twitter and everything? Because some people probably never saw it.
yeah, man. I mean, that's another topic, man. Yeah, we have to get to that later. That's the T-step and stuff like that. When Coach Prime, we're gonna break it down. We're gonna break it down and we'll get to it. But yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
What else we got? What else we got, baby?
Listen, y'all was talked about one thing y'all brought up was the Hall of Fame, and it was something I never known until you said it. Like, most corners in the Hall of Fame got 50 interceptions. You part of that crew.
Yeah.
And I just want to know, like, your feeling about the Hall of Fame, about you making the Hall of Fame. And then afterwards, Coach Prime said something that I just found out. You just found out about. You got to come out your own pocket for the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Did that change your mind about it, or you still got that same thought about the Hall of Fame as you did before you found that out?
Yeah, man. When Coach Prime made that declaration that players have to fund their own, events, the players only get 2 tickets for travel, and they have to split their signings and things like that with the organization. That was mind blowing. That was unexpected.
I saw it in your face.
I mean? Yeah, that was like, wow, my jaw dropped, right? But for some strange reason, the perception is Hall of Fame players get paid when they are selected to the Hall of Fame, and it comes to find out it's total opposite. You know what I mean? But let me tell you what makes this even more outrageous, right? Because I've been to the Pro Bowl and I understand the incentives that you get from the Pro Bowl. When we get selected to the Pro Bowl, we're afforded like around 10 tickets, with 2 more being first class, and we get hotels, right? We get accommodated hotels. And we're also compensated for playing in the Pro Bowl with the winner earning a higher pay than the loser. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it doesn't sound like it's too much benefit of getting selected to the Hall of Fame besides getting recognized as a Hall of Famer, which is supposed to mean you're one of the best in the history at the position. But other than that, man, the Hall of Fame, man, we got to fix this issue, man. The NFL is a $1 trillion company, man.
Makes so much money.
Why are we not getting paid for the accolades and the things that we are being selected to when they supposed to be so prestige, man? It don't make no sense to me. Also, man, it's like, because the Hall of Fame, what else Coach Prime said also about the Hall of Fame is they automatically have to select 10 players every year to be in the Hall of Fame. It's automatically they're selecting 10 players. To me, that diminishes the authenticity of for greatness in the Hall of Fame. To me, you know what I mean?
All
so
right.
This whole concept and everything just gets a little wild. And like I've been screaming for the longest, the Hall of Fame needs to come up with a criteria.
Mm-hmm. So how do you feel about you actually making the Hall of Fame? Like, what's your feeling towards it?
Man, I did a show earlier with Pac-Man and chopped it up, man. I think they're really clearing the way as far as the Eagles go. And, they just, I think Bobby Taylor was just selected to the Hall of Fame and things like that. So I think it's going to happen rather sooner than later, but you never know. With the Hall of Fame, how they're going to act, how they feel about me speaking about the Hall of Fame, exposing certain scenarios and things like that. I don't mind being the black sheep if that's what it takes, but that shouldn't hold them back from selecting me. 50 interceptions. Mm-hmm. Everybody agrees that this probably will never be done again, even though it's going to be 17 and 18 seasons. 50 interceptions.
And they pass way more now.
Yeah.
They doing 50 passes a game.
It's like it makes no sense. Like, how aren't nobody? I mean, I guess I was just doing something special along with Champ Bailey, Ty Law, and all those things. But I only played 11 seasons. The rest of them played 15, 16, 17. But we ain't gonna go there, baby. We ain't gonna go there.
man, you definitely got the resume for it. And I don't think a lot of people even recognize the resume you have. Like, you brought up a stat where is that in the season where you got intercepted the ball every 5 times it came up. That's a crazy stat. Let's put that's Hall of Fame number right there. Like, they gotta read that right there and say he deserves it.
To correct you, it was 1 out of every 5 passes thrown at me that was intercepted. That was your first time seeing that, huh, Dries?
Yeah, I didn't know.
That's crazy, right? And it's probably something that has never been done, a stat that somebody never accomplished in the NFL, but they won't pub it up. They won't let you know that how great I was. They won't tell you how many times I've sealed games and won games and things like that. But it's all good, man. It's all good, man. It's all good. Hey, God has a plan. We gonna conquer at the end of the day.
And that's where I kind of disagree with you at a conversation you had with Coach Prime, where you was like, just look at the stats and stuff like that. But a lot of the casual people, like for me, I always say stats don't tell the whole story. Because like for what you were saying, like if you see this stat and you could see I intercepted a ball 1 time every 5 times it came my way, people don't usually see that stat. They go to like the little box score where you got this, and this, and their perception on the game is that. They don't go deeper into the stats. So that always usually be my thing is like, man, stats don't tell the whole game, because a quarterback could throw for 300 yards, but on 3rd down he was 2 for 14, and then they lost that game. Like, you ain't converted 3rd down, my man. You know what I mean? So it's not telling you the whole story. Like, oh, he was balling. If I just go look at, oh, he threw for 300 yards. No, when it came down, he wasn't clutch.
But I think, like you're saying, the stats, how you look at them or how people might look at them may not tell the whole story, right? Mm-hmm. But if you look at stats the correct way, there are a lot of analytic details and breakdowns that you can go, like every position is kind of different. Like for DBs, it's about how many times you're breaking the ball up, how many times you intercept it, how many times you're getting the ball caught on you. For a quarterback, you can't, like I say, Dan Marino, they call him great. I don't call him great, because why? A quarterback, to be great, you need to win the Super Bowl. Dan Marino hasn't won a Super Bowl. Yes, it was a different era, and he threw for a lot of yards and all those good things. But, hey, all the greats, they win Super Bowls. They win the championship. So I think stats, like I say, you can look up every little detail when it comes to stats. Maybe not in the past, but now you can, man. You can look up every little detail. So, That's how I feel
Hey,
about it.
y'all gotta see, man. It's a bigger picture than just going to that one little box store and
Right.
seeing
It's such a
seeing
bigger
that it's so
picture.
much. It's so much deeper
And
than
if y'all
that.
notice, man, if y'all notice, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Go ahead. Yeah, I don't want to jump ahead of myself.
All right, yeah. So you and Coach Prime, man, yeah. He brung up, talked about the draft a little bit with Shador Sanders and how he felt about his sons. And how did you feel about that, man? I know you said, I mean, he said he was hurt. You felt hurt. I felt hurt. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Man, let me tell you, man. I woke up this morning, or maybe yesterday morning, I don't know, and that stuff was just on my heart. It was on my mind so much. I felt like I almost shed a tear, man. And if I shed a tear today, man, y'all just bear with me, man. I get a little emotional. You know, thugs cry sometimes, you know what I mean? But like, man, if y'all couldn't recognize, man, Coach Prime was stressed out, man. And he's not looking like the usual Coach Prime, you know? And we had a personal conversation about the propaganda surrounding his son and all that craziness, right? But let me speak, right? I want to be respectful as possible when I say this, right? Mm-hmm. It's cool to criticize, but sometimes we take things a little too far. And I will be the first to apologize to Coach Prime if I ever said something I got out of line by criticizing Coach Prime and his family and things like that, right? But if you and Coach Prime has had any type of relationship in the past, and it's possible that things you said about him and his son that are misleading or disparaging, you should reach out to Coach Prime. Have a conversation with Coach Prime, right? Because I think we get caught up in the moment too much trying to have hot takes when it's a popular topic, you know what I mean? Without any thought to justify our comments. And we know the Sanders family and Coach Prime and Shador, they name ring bells, you know what I mean? So they was the topic of discussion a lot, right? You know what I mean? But, you know, I'm speaking to our community out there, right? And it's like, if you realize, right? If you realize how bad you hurt Coach Prime, I guarantee you would retract your statements about him and his son. I guarantee you, if you realize how much stress, how bad you hurt him, you would retract your statements, you know what I mean? And I'm not speaking to the ones that who are not affiliated or never had any affiliation with Coach Prime, but I'm talking to our football family. Our football family should be more positive. It should be a positive environment, right? Especially when it comes to the family, right? And before we speak, put ourselves in the person's shoes we're about to speak on and see if we would appreciate the words that we're about to direct to that person. You know what I mean? Put ourselves in that person's shoes and see if we would appreciate those words. I guarantee we wouldn't. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's just crazy. And Coach Prime, man, Coach Prime, he was direct in pointing out a few people who had something to say. And he was very hurt, man. He was very hurt from their takes about his son.
For a man to say they hurt, that means it really hurt. You know what I mean? A lot of times we try to hide our emotions. He said it hurt me. I mean, and people, it wasn't like it was facts that people was bringing up too. It was made up stuff. You know what I mean? It wasn't just they were just saying something that he actually really did. It was like, my son didn't do that. We all watched my son for years. He didn't do that.
Yeah, so he was very hurt, man. He was very hurt. And like the people I'm speaking to, I'm not saying no names on purpose, but the people I'm speaking to, you definitely went viral. You went viral talking about his son, and you know who you are. And I'm being on my best behavior. I'm gonna be on my best behavior to hopefully make amends in this situation. Because I'm speaking up for Coach Prime because he can't say the things he would like to say. And of course, Coach Prime is upset, and he's gonna have some unpleasant things to say if you reach out to him. But that's just something we have to deal with. Don't be a part of the problem. Don't help them justify their actions, man. Coach Prime has done an amazing job with his players, coaches, and sons. You know what I mean? Starting from our Optimist football, him and his family deserve more respect than we give them. You know what I mean? So, you know, at the end of the day, though, Drees, you know, at the end of the day, Only Coach Prime and his son know what the truth is.
Right.
They the only ones know what the truth is. We can act like we know the truth. We can say a source told us the truth, and this is a reliable source, but we don't really know what the truth is. So all I'm saying is, man, please reach out, man, because I don't want to get a little ignorant on here, and I don't mind getting ignorant, man. So y'all reach out to Coach Prime, make amends. If you ever had any type of relationship with Coach Prime, make that happen, man, because he is hurt and he don't deserve that, What you think, Drees? How you feel about this situation, man?
Listen, for me, man, from the outside looking in, I ain't in touch like that. But from the outside looking in, what bothered me was people celebrating him dropping in the draft. Like literally, people was like out there celebrating, saying he deserved it and things like that. Why do he deserve it? I understand if there's no quarterback got picked in front of him. I'm like, all right, he the second quarterback that got picked. It make a little bit more sense. But it was quarterbacks we all know that's not better than him getting picked. So I'm like. And that's what that's how you know it's not real. You know what I mean? You taking somebody
cook up.
You taking somebody that's we all know with our eyes, with stats, whatever how you watch football, we know this person is not better than Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah, man.
And you gonna take them. And then you celebrating that he's not getting picked. That's what bothered me. Like, why are you celebrating? Like, that's some real hate. That's some real hate. That's not even football no more.
Sick stuff, man. It's like you was waiting on this moment. It's probably for 30% of the people that was cheering. It's like, yeah. Then as soon as they seen that the situation was happening, it's like they jump on the bandwagon and just start saying all type of craziness, man. And that's sick, man. That's sick to prey on people downfall like that. It's one thing to be critical and try to criticize, but it's another thing when you in your heart know what you want and you praying on someone's downfall. And like Shedeur said, he knows where the hate is coming from. It's 99% of the people that don't like his goddamn father. Remove his father from the equation, whatever you may feel about him, and you probably won't have those things to say about him, about Shedeur Sanders, because you don't say it about too many other people, you know what I mean? That's some wild shit, man. That's some wild shit. But hey, if you out there and you said something malicious, goddamn it, disparaging or whatever about Coach Prime and his son, reach out fast, man. And it ain't because of me. It's for Coach Prime, man. He needs that. He deserves that. And if you seen and you watched the show, you didn't see the show, go check it out. And you seen what Coach Prime looked like, and he's not looking his usual self, man. You know that he can use that. So
I think like people fear their jobs as well too.
Yeah,
with
course,
that, like
man.
they like, oh man, if we take Shedeur and we start doing bad, we gonna lose our job to his dad.
Yeah,
so like
man.
I feel like I mean, he did bring it up a little bit, but I feel like that played the part as well for him, like to drop.
We had a personal conversation, bro. Like he was, he kind of opened up to me. Me and Coach Prime. It seemed like we have a mutual respect for each other. Well, shit, we got more than that now. That's my step pops. But yeah, man. So he reached out. He kind of opened up and told me some personal things that I obviously I won't expose unless he tells me to. But I try to be professional. Try to keep it cordial. So hopefully that's how we're gonna keep it. You know what I mean? But hey, we got Coach Prime back over here to say what needs to be said. We ain't going for that bull crap no more.
Yes, sir.
And I used to be a little critical, a little hard. I ain't get out of line, but that was before Pops, reached out. Pops had to, rekindle his relationship with his stepson. You know what I mean? I was a frustrated child. I had to get my shit together, So
yeah, man. We glad, and that's what made that episode so amazing, man. Y'all see how he talking? That's how the whole episode went, man. Rekindling that flame, man. Listen, that was your idol, you could say, right?
Yeah,
I mean, I seen you had the picture.
This is. Let me tell you, dog. I just thought about this today, bro. And if I went on about my life, man, and how God guide my paths and stuff like that, man, y'all would be so blown. But I'm trying to put it all in the movie, but that's another story. But tell you, right? I tell everybody this, and y'all heard me say this on the show, right? My first idol, my first father figure in my life was Tupac, right? It was a couple rappers, but it was Tupac. And one of the main things that Tupac said that stuck with me, it always resonated with me, was all I want is money, F the fame. I'm a superman. I'm a simple man. So all I wanted to do was get the money and never be famous. That was my whole mindset, right? But then, boom, fast forward. Guess what? Tupac passes away, right? This is what, 96, 97, right there. Now I need another father figure. I need another mentor. I need another idol to look up to. It's Coach Prime. Y'all seen the picture with me holding him up in college. Y'all seen that? If y'all ain't seen the video with Coach Prime, y'all go check it out. Boom. Instantly. It's not, I'm not even recognizing and realizing it. I'm looking up to him, trying to figure out what he's doing to be so great. Everywhere I go, I'm asking about him. But hey, you know, it's all good. It's all good. Shout out to Coach Prime, man. Got a lot of wisdom, man.
Yeah, man, definitely. One thing y'all did, like something y'all did, Greasy, even though y'all had a lot of stuff that y'all like amended, y'all still disagreed on something, and that was following the wide receiver and staying on one side.
Right.
We gotta know, like, man, do that really matter, following the number one receiver, or
that's what we came here for? Hey, this is what the debate is about, and this is what everybody's. So it's like, you know, everybody was going. It was 50-50 on this. Like, this is a great topic, and people are scared to talk about it because they said so many things left and right about me playing cornerback. They can't retract themselves. You see what I'm saying? That's why I told them to bring me on their platform so I can explain to them, because they don't have a clue. They think it's a guessing game out there. It ain't no freaking guessing game. It's a technique. You see what I'm saying? Right. But let me get into this, man. Left side, taking away the quarterback's favorite side, or playing the best receiver, right? Now, y'all heard me give my perspective on this. If y'all ain't heard, y'all go check it out, right? Super chat, shout out to the super chat. You know what I mean? Yes, sir. We'll get to you. We're gonna get to you. But like I said, y'all go check out the video. Me talking about playing the left side and Coach Prime speaking on following the best receiver, right? Right. And I said playing the quarterback's favorite side, forcing him to make adjustments away from his favorite side, which is left side, will make the game easier for defense, right? Also remember, no one travels how Deion did and was or is more or the same, has the same productivity as Coach Prime. So y'all remember that in this debate, right? So you got me playing the left side, you got cornerbacks traveling to cover the best receiver on the team, and cornerbacks aren't as productive as Coach Prime and we were back in the days when we was traveling. You know what I mean? So we're going to get into this. Like I said, everybody was split up 50-50, right? Split up 50-50. Let me know in the chat. What do y'all think? Right now, before I get started, y'all let me know in the chat, what is the better formula? Cover the best receiver or take away the quarterback, right? What is the best formula?
Man, listen, I play a little corner myself, man. I played corner.
Yeah, let's hear your thoughts first.
I played, I went to Roxborough High School. I was a Hall of Famer there. I went to college, played college a little bit. Well, not a little bit. I played my whole college year. I ain't make it to the NFL, though. But listen, honestly, that was... me and you agree. Like, I was on the left side because I feel like that's where the ball's gonna come the most, no matter what. So the only time I really traveled was when it was a player room. My man Stan Banks. He used to, like, you know, back in the day we didn't have as much turf as it is now. So like he used to always make me go to the muddy side because he was older than me. He was like, no, you going over there to that muddy side. Right. He used to send me to that
side. Wide side. Usually the wide side too.
He'd be like, man, go over there to that muddy side. I'm like, damn, bro, like, can I get that good side?
Like it right now, man. I know the ball gonna be coming. So but I ain't gonna lie though. I ain't gonna lie. Like I said before, I will admit, right? I will admit it's definitely more exciting and marketable to see a matchup of two great players. Yeah, it's something to talk about. It's exciting. Yes, we love to see that. You know what I mean? But at this point, it's only exciting to talk about because there isn't much productivity. You know, most of the time when it's a great matchup. You know, but I was surprised to see a lot of the replies. You know. And
another thing you brought up on there, he was like, I didn't get that much action. And you was like, but when you did, you picked the ball off. I don't think he heard you say that. Like, you know what I mean? Even though he was getting the action, because people would not get action, but when the ball coming away, they still not picking it off. and you was trying to explain that to him, and I don't think he heard you say like, but when it came when it came your way, you got the ball or you knocked it down. Like
I didn't
I noticed that in that conversation.
Yeah, I didn't want to push too much, this first time on it. So yeah. But
no, I definitely noticed that.
One of the most surprising things I saw on Twitter, when I posted the video, everybody was so happy to see us chop it up. You know what I mean? I seen people hear me break it down, talking about taking away the quarterback's favorite side, and then 50% of the replies was, I never thought of it like that. That makes sense, Asante. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And there's so many analogies that I could use to prove my point, but I'm only going to use one right now. I'm going to use one, right? No one ever says, let's put the best defensive tackle on the best offensive tackle. Or let's put the best defensive end on the best offensive tackle. You see what I'm saying? They're always trying to create
the mismatch,
a disadvantage and a mismatch, right? To gain an advantage for the defense, right? You know what I mean? So it's the same type of concept. The only reason we scream that about the wide receiver and cornerback because it's sexy, it's exciting, it's something for us to talk about, and we love to see it. A lot of the times, the ball don't even come that way that much. It's like every game.
It's boring over there. It's boring on that side.
It's playing the best receiver. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the best receiver, most of the time, is on that right side of the quarterback because he's right-handed.
Right. And here's another point. When it's time for the defense to prepare, like when it's it's scout report and it's Monday, but leading up to Sunday, when it's time to prepare for the offense, everything is being designed and predicated towards the quarterback to stop the run and go get the quarterback. So if the overall mission is to stop the quarterback, that means if I'm on the left side, stopping the quarterback from making 50% of his plays that he's used to making, that gives my defense and my team an advantage. It's simple. It's simple math. Take away the quarterback right side and make them have to make uncomfortable throws, and the winning percentage goes up 40%. I think it's simple as that.
Because he's looking that way. He looking that way first.
Are you a math major, Idris?
No, I ain't no math major, but I know he looking that way first. He dropping that way. His body is automatically turned that way.
So it's automatically he sees everything as he's dropping back. He can recognize should he be throwing the ball that way or not. So I think it's a good fun debate, a good healthy debate. When you talk about these corners, these most recent corners, and again, I'm trying not to use names because y'all get crazy when I use these names, but nobody was as productive as Coach Prime, man to man, locking down the best receivers on the team. Even Champ Bailey, he didn't follow that much, but he was productive. You know what I mean? Right. But so. Hey, man, if you can follow the best receiver and get 50 interceptions and be top 5 pass breakups, you the best. I'm going to tell you right now. If you get 50 interceptions and you following the best receiver and you have top 5, top 10 pass breakups, I'm going to let you know you the best. I know how to tell the truth. That's one thing about Zunt, man. I'm going to tell the truth. I ain't going to hold it back. I ain't going to try to sugarcoat it because I'm here to learn and grow, and that's all it's about, man.
Man, Coach Prime said it would never happen again. So do you feel like you the last one with the 50? With the 50 ball? You last one?
That's so hard for me to believe. I think people say it out of cockiness and confidence and not arrogance, but it's like, I don't want people to do it. That's, I think that's the feeling everybody has. Like, I don't want people to get the 50 interceptions. When in truth of the matter, it will happen again. As far as a corner, now safety, it should be easy. But a corner, my only thing is, if we did it, why somebody else can't do it? That don't make sense. And you have more games. The ball is being thrown more. It's just hard for me to not see that. I guess these cornerbacks got to learn these new techniques. I got to get out here and teach them. They got to learn how to get the ball when the ball is not coming their way. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Man, speaking of that, would you ever consider coaching? I know you got a few teammates that that's coaching right now, like coaching for the Patriots and all that right now. Would you join that coaching staff?
It had to be a special situation. Right now, man, the only places I think I could coach right now is the University of Miami or the Miami Dolphins right now, man. But it'll have to Have to be very enticing, man. Shout out to Marlon. Marlon say PS2. PS2 might get 50. Yeah, that's one of the options.
That's a dog right there.
Yeah, that's one. But my other option is Derek Stingley. Derek Stingley Jr. They're both really good players. I think, like I was talking about with Coach Prime, I think the one thing that separates those two is Derek Stingley Jr.'s instincts. You know what I mean? He's very instinctive. He understands how to get the ball as well as Pat. You know what I mean? Pat is very technical. His technique is flawless. And yeah, man, two dogs out there, man. So them boys gonna be battling it out for a few years to see who's always gonna be the best every season. You know
when you watching games, did that make you excited seeing like corners out there making plays?
Heck yeah! When I I think the game that got PS2 the defensive player of the year game, you know, I think he had the 2 interceptions. I'm in his DM already. But when he got the first one and he dropped some or he caught one, I'm like, man, 50 interceptions, you could do it, blah, blah, blah. I hope that ain't putting too much pressure on the young man. I'm just trying to motivate him and, you know, get everybody to try to reach for the sky, you know, when they're trying to achieve greatness and not just let the commentators tell you you're great because, you know, you're a first rounder and all these things. Like, you're actually achieving greatness, you know what I mean? So I'm here to protect greatness, man. I'm here to protect greatness.
Man, you say you was putting his head 50 interceptions. When did it come into your mind, like as a player, like I could get 50 interceptions? Like when was that a thought? Like it's achievable,
bro? I think I was just out there playing. I don't even know how
many
interceptions I had.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I can't even think of you know what, bro? When I was at the Atlanta Falcons and I got my 50th interception, that's when I think I realized. I was like,
so you had no idea it was that many.
I was clueless. I was focused. I was locked in. You know, like you say, the media really drives everything. You know, you don't understand anything until you remove yourself. Unless the media was telling me, I ain't really paying attention. I know I'm the interception leader, right? I know I'm leading the NFL in interceptions a couple of times because of stats and things like that, and I'm keeping score. But the 50 interceptions, that was an afterthought, man. It was hard for me to register.
Damn, man, you the last one to do it. That's a you gotta hold that in high regards, man. I hope y'all listening, Hall of Fame, because they ain't easy to do.
Yeah, man,
for sure. But man, we brought up former teammates being coaches right now, and some of them was facing adversity with they just paid the number 1 receiver a lot of money, and he getting in some trouble over this offseason right now, man. Let's talk about that a little bit. We talk about Mike Vrabel with the Patriots. He's going back home to be a coach, and Stefon Diggs, man. I don't know what's going on, man.
What's your situation? I'm gonna ask you what player you talking about. Stefon Diggs.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
Diggs. So if y'all don't know, man, me and Mike Vrabel, we got a lot of history together. You know, he was my teammate when I played for the Patriots. Actually, my 5 years at the Patriots. Actually, he's one of the people I look up to as, like, you know, I would call him my big brother. You know what I mean? And he helped me understand what I was getting myself into and helped guide me. Also, he was the NFLPA representative. So, you know, he had some wisdom going on. But Mike Vrabel, man, he's the total players coach, right? So I could see Mike Vrabel right now, Stefon Diggs coming in. He's instantly going to have a talk with him, and he's going to let him know, hey, man, I've been in your shoes. You just got to be more careful. Obviously, you know, you can't just be exposing everything you're doing and recklessly having fun when people can put you on blast, right? I don't think he's going to hold it against him. But the one thing that Stefon Diggs has going bad for himself is the ACL injury from last season, him trying to come from that. You know what I mean? Usually it takes a year and a half, 2 years to come back strong, right? And he comes out there, or if he goes to practice and he doesn't look like he's all the way healthy and he looks like he may be a step slower and things like that, Mike Vrabel may look to make some changes because his job is on the line. But again, Stefon Diggs has a healthy guaranteed tag of amount of money. So it's a tricky situation, man. But I think Mike Vrabel is the correct coach that Stefon Diggs need, and he's going to help him out, and hopefully that work out, man. But I like Mike Vrabel. He's gonna do a good job up there in New England. I just don't know about Drake May, man. We'll have to see about
Oh
Drake
yeah.
May.
Oh man, I know some Patriots fan, man. They really high on him, man. They like what they got. They said they got a small sample size of him last year, and we really gonna see him this year, man. So you're not as confident, huh?
No, man. I'm not as confident as Drake Mays is. I don't see the professional preciseness in them. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
I don't see the accuracy. I see the dog, but it takes more than just being a dog to play a quarterback in the NFL. You know what I mean? So,
All right.
right, yeah. So, at the end of the day, is he wide receiver number one anymore? I don't think so.
You're getting
At
paid
best,
like one.
at best, I think Stefon Diggs is a slot receiver, right?
Mm-hmm.
He can work inside and outside. He doesn't have the downfield speed as he once had, and he's definitely a challenge. He's a diva. He loves to hang out and stuff, man. So he's gonna be a challenge for Mike Vrabel, man. He's gonna be a challenge, man. It's all good. We'll see how it go.
And also he older receiver now, coming off the ACL injury, so that's a big deal right there.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking about. Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to recap from last episode that we may have forgot?
No, man. I really just want to reiterate, man, to the people out there who might have wronged Coach Prime. And it's like, man, the people, they know who they are out there. And like I say, I'm leading by example by myself. I'm being the first one to apologize to Coach Prime if I ever said anything wrong, did anything wrong. But I just really want people to reach out to him and try to lift his spirits, help him out a little bit, seeing what he's going through. That's a strong brother that we got to protect out here, man. And that I ain't got too much to say on Coach Prime no more. But yeah, that's it on Coach Prime.
Yeah, man, that was a great episode. I enjoyed watching it. So if y'all tuned in right now, y'all didn't see it, I definitely gotta make sure y'all go back and rewatch it right after this. Make sure y'all subscribe.
Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, man. We got the Madden cover, man. Were you surprised at who was selected to be on the Madden cover?
I'm not surprised because like it was like kind of like teased a little bit earlier. It's gonna be him, and then like I realized it was Madden 26 and he wear number 26. It kind of like go hand in hand. Do I like it? I as an Eagles fan, I don't like it because I really believe in the like Madden curse. So
so you do believe in the Madden curse?
Yes, I do. So I don't like it, bro. I'm like, damn.
But you know the history of the Madden curse, bro? Do you know all the players? Can you name?
I know. All right, I gotta. I looked at the last.
Y'all
10.
help us out, chat.
I got the last.
The Madden curse, man. The Madden curse. Who are all the players that was a part of? You had the Michael Vicks.
So I got the last 10, and I got like what the season they had after it.
All right, tell me.
Are you ready? So 2016, OBJ, he actually had his career high in yards and touchdowns, and was second team All Pro. Then you got 20. Yep. Then you got 2017. You had Rob. You had Gronk. And he had he only played 8 games because season ended with back surgery. Then he had 2018 with Tom Brady. He won his 3rd MVP. Then you got 2019 Antonio Brown, and they say it was his final year before he lost his shit. that's what that's what that say. I didn't make that up. That's what that say. Yeah. But then you got after that you got Mahomes, and that's when Mahomes won his first Super Bowl. Then you had Lamar Jackson in 2021. He had less than 3K passing yards and lost to the Bills in the divisional round. Then Mahomes again in 2022. He had 0 MVP votes and lost to the Bengals in the playoffs. He had Tom Brady again. He went him and Mahomes was on it on 2022. And Tom Brady went 13-4 and lost in the first round. Then in 2023, he had John Madden, and the Raiders went 6-11. Then 2024, Josh Allen, he had 18 interceptions and lost in the playoffs. And then you had CMC last year. He got hurt twice. 49ers went 6-11.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, man, the Madden curse. I don't believe in the curse. Saquon Barkley, man, make that curse disappear. Make everybody forget about it. Fly, Eagles, fly, man. You know how it go, man. So, man, like I say, man, that was a good show tonight. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate y'all all the love and support, man. Coach Prime, man, came on here, did his thing. I appreciate it. Hey, guess what? We're gonna have another special. We're gonna have another special guest coming up shortly, man. Hey, another Hall of Famer. One thing about Mr. Pick Six, I know how to grind. I know how to fight my way to the top. I did it my whole life, man. So that's what we're gonna be doing, man. So y'all stay tuned. Turn on your notification buttons and tear that like button up, baby. Shout out to 2-3 Reese, man. Shout out to the chat.
Sir.
Shout out to all my day ones. Hey, man. Monday Night Vibes. We'll see y'all again probably Thursday night, man. So salute, man. We out.
Yes, sir.